Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. As I'm rolling back a little bit here, I want to be able to take in this whole thing that we've been painting here to get an idea of what we're doing. From close up, it just looks like splotches, but if you set back the way art is meant to be appreciated, then you get an idea, the sense of what is being painted here. There's an open window, there's a library around it, there's a lazy boy, a plant, a desk lamp on the windowsill, a carpet, etc. So we're going to continue painting this wonderful cozy reading nook from numberartist.com. Okay. Whoa, give me a moment to set the phone back up here. Okay. And let me make sure that we're, in fact, live streaming. Okay, let's see here. All right, this is this one right here. I'll make sure we've got some audio. I'll find out where my audio is here. Do we hear us? Do we hear us? Testes, testes, testes. Okay. I do hear it. That's good. All right. So at least I got a monitor right here with my little tablet. So we'll be able to figure out what's going on here. Pull up a little bit closer here, and then we'll zoom out a little bit here. I think the last number we stopped at was 15, but we keep finding other numbers that we haven't painted yet. Protecting our hands with the nitro gloves. Not necessary, but because I keep getting paint all over me, it's just something I like. This is what we're doing. This is the Number Artist 40-50-LZ8806-BK from numberartist.com, the Cozy Reading Nook. Okay. Oh, almost lost the phone there. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. I would greatly appreciate it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get back to it. Add our water to our little cleaning area. And we have our spillover container, courtesy of the last time I got Chinese food. Okay. So like I said, the last time we were working on 15, which was this dark green color. So all the dark green areas that you see are the 15 that I painted. Heavy dark pine green kind of paint here. So now we're going to move on to 16, which is heading back into a lighter blue, very similar to, I guess, number 9. A little bit lighter than the number 9, maybe number 11. No, a little bit whiter than the number 11. So this is number 16. Okay. I see a few spots for number 16 to go in. It almost looks like a grayish blue. Okay. I took out some brand new brushes. So again, this kit comes with six brushes, 2 of the same kind, a heavy brush, a medium brush, and a thin brush. So we're going to use the new ones. The other ones are pretty soiled. And every kit you buy, you'll get the same 6 brushes, unless you pay extra and get more professional brushes, which I did pay extra for. Okay, let's see what we can find for number 16. And right out of the gate, we got a hello. A hello from Hobbs-196, or is that a T? A lowercase t. Okay. Hello there, Hobbs. Good day. Oops. Phone. Sorry. Trying to snap it back onto the gimbal here. Every once in a while, I'm going to be picking this up because the numbers are super teeny tiny. and I'm trying to see them. Okay, that's an 18. All right, looking for a 16. Oh my Lord, it's so difficult. Okay, there's a 16 right in the center. So we got a 16 right here. Real close to a 21. Try not to go onto that 21 there. Okay. So it's almost like a gray color. I mean, I've got two lights above me to make the room brighter in here. We're in the kitchen doing this, and outside it's super overcast today, so I can't rely on the outside light, unfortunately. So I have the two different lights above me, and they are incandescent bulbs and a mixture of incandescent bulbs and LED. So it puts out sort of two different color lights. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but let's look for some more 16s on here. We have a 16 up here. Let me tilt this back, see if you can see the 16 that I'm going to be working on here. Oh, there's a big area of 16s in here. What is this? Let's figure out what this is, possibly. Okay, so apparently it's some of that background back there against the hills, I guess. So maybe it's a fog rolling in. That's entirely possible. So it's some weird looking shapes here that we're going to be putting. We got 16s all over the place. We'll start over here against the windowsill, right up against there. Okay. So we want a nice hard line right there because that's the window pane that's facing outwards. We don't want it to go over that if possible. Okay. 16 right here. If you can't see what we're doing, just let me know and I'll pull the camera back again so you can see what this is. All these blobs are becoming. So obviously up close, it just looks like a bunch of blobs. No real set pattern. Thank you, Hobbs. I appreciate it. Hey there, Allie. I just got sidetracked. I looked down at the screen. That's fine. I found where I was working. Oh, there's 16s all around here. So this almost looks like it's kind of interesting because it's not quite a horizontal line, but it's almost like a breakup between whatever 17 is going to be and this blue sky up here. So it does kind of seem like this may be fog rolling into this valley. There's a split in between this two blue area here that gets just filled in here. And if it in fact is fog, then you don't want straight lines and things like that because that wouldn't make sense. I don't see why you couldn't go back and just feather that with your brush. A little 16 right here. Now, surprisingly, right next to the 16, there's an 11 right here that apparently I missed. It's such a small number, I wouldn't have been able to see it until just now. So with the 11 sitting right there, the 11 is this kind of baby blue look. So I'll take the fine line. And I always say that even though I'm working on a number, if numbers from 1 through 16 pop up, I'll go back and get those spots. This is a super tiny little spot here. Of course, I lost it, which often happens. It's a 21. Here it is. It's just like a little sliver. A little tiny sliver of color right there. Who could possibly see that? I don't know. But there's a number 11 there nonetheless. Okay. Oh, what is that right there? Nope, that's a 19. That's a 17. Oh, there's a 16. Okay. There's a 16. It's a reflection off the window that's facing outwards. I'm only going to assume that this is a reflection. Why else would there be this random color right against the window? But they don't just use the colors for what they are. They use them, for highlights and stuff, or shadows for other things. Okay. Missed a line. And that's a 19 right below it, so we don't want to touch that one. 18. All right, looking for 16s elsewhere. I got a 16 down here. Sorry, I moved the camera a little bit. It's so light compared to that dark green. Not sure if you can hear the Sammy meowing out there. What's going on? What did you see out there? Did you see any bunny rabbits? He is out exploring. Okay. So there is a number here. I mean, there is a shape here that doesn't have any numbers on it, which makes me think that I got sidetracked on one of these colors around it. It could be, it could be the 16 here that I may have missed. But it makes me think that this olive color may have been the color that's supposed to be there. But I do get sidetracked a lot. As you just saw, the Sammy came in and immediately the camera went in the Sammy direction. Okay, I kind of went into that green a little bit there. Okay. All right. Let's see what other 16s we can find. We got a 16 right here. Let's see if we can see that. Yep, just a little line. Okay. Because I've noticed like these greens that were meant for like the carpet and the tree and other random spots. They actually used them in the books as well, which I have no idea why. I guess to make the books look more ancient. All right, another 16 in the window. I'm gonna make a hard line right here. But there's other colors in this 16. I mean, near the 16 spot. I don't want to try to cover up. Oh, there's another one. Remember, if your paints start to get a little muddy, just dip it in the water. Even though it'll lighten the color up, it'll make the color flow better on the canvas. See, there's a few little I don't know if you can see it if it transfers. There's a few little chunky spots in the paint that's popped up there. Okay. Let's look for some more 16s. There's a 16 right there. So I found a royalty-free lo-fi channel on YouTube, and I was going to run that in the background. Then I saw that it was 11 years old, and the most recent comment was 10 months ago saying that this is no longer royalty-free, that Twitch, YouTube, TikTok are hitting us with copyright strikes. So I'm not going to play those things. I'd like to have music in the background. I love having music in the background when I'm painting, but not when I'm live streaming for fear of said copyright strike. We got a huge 16 that goes right through all the way across here, but we're going to stick with the little tiny ones for now. And then we'll use the thicker brush to get to that large area. Okay. This one runs on the inside of the window. It kind of snakes all over the place here, but there's other colors around it, so I don't want to disturb those other colors. Trying to just lightly tap around. Goes into some weird shapes here. This is what I ran into when I was doing the ocean scene. Just weird shapes. I mean, they they look fine when you step back. You can understand what they are. Right out of the gate with these blobs of paint. They make no rhyme or reason what they could possibly be. Let me get a little water. That was a lot of weirdness right there. Okay. Any more 16s in there? That's 17. Take a look down at the bottom here and see if this is an 18 or a 16. It's an 18. Okay. Well, let's look around in some other spots. Nope. Is that a 16? That is a 16. Okay. So there's a 16 coming off of a book. Not sure why. Or maybe it's not a book. I'm not sure what this is. It's a thing. Okay, looking for another 16. These are 19s. So running along the edges, but about up top, up here. The crazy part is getting to the 18. The 18 is a solid black. And they gave us 3 pots of number 18, which indicates that we are going to be doing a lot of black. So all these dark gray areas that you see on here are all number 18. Go all the way all over the place. And that's going to be just this solid black on there. But, you know, if you look, well, it's kind of a blackish brown on there, I guess. It must be, it says a cozy, sorry I'm shaking so much. a cozy reading nook, which indicates that it's in the corner of your house, right? If it's cozy, it's in the corner. Well, generally they don't put windows directly against corners unless there's another edge that has, if you have a window against a corner, then there's a window coming this way, right? So it's a corner window. Well, whatever this cozy reading nook is, it's in some darkness. And if the only light, assuming that there's a light in this room, is this little desk lamp, they have to open the window to bring that natural light in, plus some air inside. Assuming when this air comes in, whatever is on this air, be it seawater or whatever, it's going to make those books around it funky, which probably is the reason why there's so many of these orange, amber, and green. Those books must be just so tarnished over time. Here I am. Here I am philosophizing, right? A painting. But sometimes you got to put a little life into the stuff that you paint, right? I'm tilting the canvas up. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I can find any more 16s anywhere. It's not looking good for the home team. But like I said, every time I switch to another color, I end up finding, those lower numbers again. So, oh, no, that's an 18. 17s. Not seeing any more 16s anywhere. Those are 19s. Okay, so that must have been it with the 16 there. So I'll set back a little bit here as this brush goes, and we'll take a look at it from a little bit farther back here. See if we can tell what it is that we're painting here. I don't know how well if that focused up at all, but oh, came in a little too fast there. Okay. All right, I must get a sip of water. Okay, so now we're going to work on 17. We'll keep the other numbers close by. 17 is another light blue. Let's see if it looks like a 9. It is different than the 9. It is different than the 11. It is just barely different than the 16. So is this darker or is this lighter? Is this duller? Is this softer? I don't know. You be the judge of that. A duck egg blue with a little gray in it, maybe? Still kind of a grayish blue. So again, if it's more fogginess, but the 17 is in all kinds of random spots, so let's get a paper towel. Okay. But I like how as we add more and more paint to it, the picture starts to come alive. Okay. All right. Okay, 17. Right out the gate, we got one right next to the one we just painted. Almost can't tell. Yeah, it's okay. It's a little bit darker than the one we just used. So maybe it's a shadow off of the one we just used. There's a lo-fi channel that I subscribe to on YouTube called Lo-Fi Girl. It's actually, I think it's a husband and wife team, or maybe just the male. And he makes all the music on a synthesizer and other instruments. And then he uploads other people that do lo-fi music. And he has multiple playlists of different genres. And Sammy and I like to listen to that to fall asleep to. The different musics that he has. He has music for studying and music for your party, or jam sessions, whatever. And then there's sleep and dream music and stuff like that, and all based off that kind of jazzy lo-fi type stuff. I kind of dig it. But there's some playlists on there that really go good with painting. When you need to take a break from Metallica or Megadeth, listen to some lo-fi and some jazz, or classical. Okay. This is why I wear gloves, because I use my finger, my hand to stabilize my hand when I'm. That didn't make sense. I use my hand to stabilize my hand on the canvas so I don't bump and move things around, but sometimes I stick my hand right into fresh paint. So this is why I put on the nitro gloves. I don't think acrylic paint's toxic, but you never know. Everything's toxic to some degree. It's toxic if you're not used to it, I suppose. You get a little water, so it goes a little smoother. It's right under the one that I did before, the other color. I'm just going off to the side here to grab some water on here. So like I said, there's a lot of little islands of color around here, so I'm using the water to soften it up so that I don't smudge over the other stuff there. My hands are extra shaky today. the arm out a little bit. I'm going to come back with this guy. Don't be afraid to use the other brushes, especially trying to fill up a larger spot like that. Okay, looking for 17s. Did you use 17s in other spots? There's a 14 up there I missed. But it's right on the edge and it's somewhere where you wouldn't actually see the painting unless you were looking on top of the canvas. So unless you hung it super low to the ground, it seems like a weird place, but let's look down here. Oh, there's a 16 up there. All right, so I missed a 16. We'll go back and hit the 16 up there. Maybe it's the title of a book here. Okay, any more? What's that? Is that a 15? It's a 15. How did I miss the 15 up there? The dark green again. Move the phone away for a second just so I can see this. All right, where did you go, 15? I saw you. Oh, there you are. The corner of a book, or the end of a book. And what is that? Is it an 18 or a 16? It is an 18. Okay. 14 is a green, so this could pass as it. If I did it, I'm going to hit this little corner right here, a little bit of this. Not corner, but the top. Okay. You couldn't see that, but you may have, I don't know. But here, let's clean these guys off. And since I can't find any more 17s, we're going to move on to 18. And it is going to be a poop show of black. A poop show of black. And if any other colors or numbers pop up before the 18, we'll go back and do them as well. This is going to really start to add dimension to this with all this black paint. It's going to be crazy how it totally changed the dynamic of this painting. This is going to be unreal. I don't think I've ever put this much black in a painting unless I was entirely painting the canvas black to do like a night sky or something. We have got black paint. I'm not sure where the blue is coming from, but there's no blue in there. I think it's just coming off of my hands. Because I'm wearing black gloves as well, but there's obviously some blue marks on it from where I stuck my hand in the paint. All right, 18. Wow. Where do I start? There's 18 everywhere. Do I go from the bottom and work my way up, or do I go from the top and work my way down? Here, let's go right here in this center part here and just see what happens when I gob this black in here. Harley Davidson. There's no reason to use a tiny brush right here. Tiny brushes in other spots to get around these books and such, but in these big open spaces here, yeah. I could take this edge right to these books. The problem is those two hairs right there gotta go. And that hair has gotta go. And one more. Oh, a paintbrush coming apart on me. That's not good. Oh my God, there's a little brush. Son of a mother, father. There's paintbrush strands in the paint where this paintbrush was coming apart. Oh well. See what happens when we add a little water in here if it starts turning it too gray. Oh, okay, we're good. Just to help it flow a little bit better, so I don't have to use so much paint. It just stopped. All right. Now we'll come in here with the medium so we can get around these books. It's like I'm putting black tar on here. Ugh. I guess that's the inside of the bookcase. This is where I could see you making a lot of, or not you in general, just me, making a lot of mistakes. It's not you, it's me. Who hasn't heard that before at least once? Let's get some water. Come on. I don't know why this paint's getting so thick already. Gotta mix some water in here. It's getting super muddy. What's up there, pal? Hi. Hi. What's up, Sam? All right, that is a dark, dark area that I just painted right there. A dark, muddy area. You absolutely could put a straight edge, although this line is wonky, but you could still put a straight edge right up to it so you don't paint over it. Especially if your hand shakes as bad as mine. I'm going to use the thinner one on this one here. Oh my God, I made it worse. It's so dark so that every mistake comes through. I feel embarrassed putting all this black in here. No rhyme or reason why there's so much black. It's ridiculous. All right, now we're going to need the big one again. I don't know why they didn't just do this one last. Because there's still lighter colors that have to be put in here. And the black, if you've messed up a spot, you're not going to be able to get that black to go away. The black color. I just went right into that book. Oh my God. I think it's supposed to be the separation of these books here, but it just looks so terrible to me. I think the water's helping it spread inside these spots. It is turning it a little gray, but I can always go back. I didn't go super dark right here. It's because There's two 22s in here that I've almost totally covered up. Oh, there's a 17 right there. Okay, I don't see any more. I'm going to use the same paintbrush on the thinner parts of the 18s. I think this is the shadow off the desk lamp. This 18, oh, this 18 goes on forever. Let's find some smaller 18s. I've got one word for you today, or I should say, the word of the day is Rapa Nui. And if you were thinking Easter Island, then you would be correct. The Rapa Nui, I believe, are those statues, those head statues that are on Easter Island. I have no idea why that popped into my mind. Which one of you were thinking about it? Oh, there's a 14 right there. 14 is this color. Okay. There's just so many spaces that are black. Trying to find the smaller ones. There's a 17. Is that light blue? This is totally muddy. There we go. Had to add some water to the paint because it was just pure mud dragging on there. I'm gonna stay down here. I think this 18 could take me 2 or 3 hours just to do. There's just so much of it in here, I can't even find a spot to start. So when you feel it start dragging on there, dragging on the canvas, just dip it, the paintbrush in the water a little bit, just to get it to flow a little bit better, so you don't have to use up so much of that paint. All right, let's roll back a little bit here because want to see what we're looking at. If we're working in that, you see that thick black area right in there. That's what we just worked on. That thick black area in that almost corner there. Underneath that desk lamp. So it looks normal when you set back. You know, up close, it's just so black and bleh that it's frightening to look at on here with all that black. You look like you're just covering up everything that you've done for the past, 3 or 4 days here. But I assure you it hasn't. I just found a 13. So let's knock out this 13 here. Okay. Hey, Sam. Okay. Let's get back in here and find some smaller 18 ones. This whole area in here is all 18. Come on. It's okay that I'm going over this orange here because I went out of the lines of where this orange is. So I knew that I was going to come back with the black. I'm just trying to do the edges so that I can come back with a thicker brush and hit these other spots. But this is just the water coming in here to help this stuff flow a little bit. It doesn't even look right. It looks like just dripping water everywhere. But once the colors get filled in there, hopefully you'll be able to see. Ugh, looks so obnoxious. Trying to get the thinner outliney parts that mess with the other paints. Little nooks and crannies in here that are too thin for the big brush. Little teardrop shapes. Little 19 right there and a 24. Don't want to cut off that 24 there. 24 is a green color. It's all starting to look like camouflage. There's a 15 right there, which is that super dark green. It's just a dot of it. That's it. Just a little dot of green right there amongst all that black. Oh, there's a 17. Let's go with the 17, which is that blue. It's really going to be different than that black.
weird tree branch shape. Okay. Oh, there's a big 17 right there. Inside the windowsill or window pane. Couple of cat hairs I gotta get off there. It's the side of the lazy boy. Must not be getting a lot of light, hence this thick black. I'm painting a house now. Hard edge on that piece of furniture. This one's going to be tricky because it's all got some weird jaggedy lines in here. Little fingers. Little 22 in there. It's a lot of black. Watch me get hit with a copyright strike from the ice cream man coming up the street. Not sure if you can hear that music. I think the 24 stops right there, and then the 18 goes across. Back to the gaps between the books. I think we use water on that. Hubris. That's 23 up there, okay. Let's step back here for a moment. Look at this mess that we've created. Let me move the black gloves out of the way so that doesn't throw it off. I mean, you can see it. I mean, obviously all the orange and brown and stuff is around it. But like right in here is what we're working on right here, all this whole side. You can see all that black in there dripping down into that window pane and the side of the wood of the window frame. So you see that little green mark right there. Sorry, hands are shaking. The little green mark right there is that green mark right there. Crazy, right? Okay. All right, let's wipe off some of these brushes here. Got a huge black area coming up here. We'll do that first, then we'll come back and get the thinner parts. Again, this must be the negative space above these books and below the next shelf. So maybe it's the shadow off this shelf here and above these books. Okay. Starting to push the canvas a little bit here. That's 23. Manuka honey. Stop doing that. It's paint on the paper. There's no reason for it to dry on there. Dry. Wipe it on there. When you pull a line and it starts doing that, it means you're out of paint, right? You're out of paint right there. So I just dipped it in there, so there was no reason for it to do that. Spots. Hi, Sam. Come on, Sam. Again, I'm dipping it in the water just to get it to flow. So that area right there was the two shelves. right in this section right here. Pretty crazy. Showing a blue spot in there. Did I miss a blue spot? What color is that? Let's see it. Those are not the colors I used. That one says 21 and 20, or 22. 22 is brown. Did they misnumber it? Maybe it's that white color. I don't know. Shit. Oh, boop. I meant boop. All right. Oh my God, so much more. Okay, we actually have an hour and 10 minutes, so we may be able to knock out all the 18s in there. But there is so much. Using the thick paintbrush will make it go by faster for sure. Okay, I'm going to turn this on its side just so I can get these 18s over here. Some water in here. If you're going to use the water, make sure you get it before it starts dripping. I can see the thing's trying to focus. Yeah, this will definitely make it go by quicker. Use a thicker brush here. That's 22, but this is 18 right here. We're almost finished with this pot here. come back here. Kind of like that stipple effect right there. Kind of gives it just an inference that there's black in there. But I know it has to be darkened up, unfortunately. That's all 22. What's that? That's 22 there, but that's definitely 18 up there. Okay. I'm gonna put some water in here, just try to get some of the paint off the walls here. So this pot's pretty much almost done. A little bit of a drip got away from me. What's up, monkey? Okay, this is all going to require a medium. This is all thinner lines. That's 22. Got it up on the metal a little bit. God, it looks so muddy. We'll flip it over on the top side in a moment. Let's get it off here. You can see all that black up there that we just put. It's clearly not super realism, so But sitting back away from it, I mean, you can see some dimension. You at least see the books a little bit better, but it's still brutally black. When you're close up, it looks like a disaster. Like this is the side of the couch here, or the side of the lazy boy, right? And it's just super black splotches. And then when you look at the actual picture, you can see all that black in there, but it's mixed up with all the oranges and browns and other colors there. So it's some kind of shadow of whatever's on the wall coming off here. Something's making a shadow onto it. So we're at the 2 hour mark. I suppose we can go longer as it is Tuesday. I don't normally live stream video games on Tuesday. I only live stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, at least for 2026 here, the first half of 2026. So I can go an extra hour. I suppose you guys and gals can let me know. I can continue on. I could probably finish all the black in an hour here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over on this way so we can start working on the black. It's completely flipped upside down. We're in the upside down. But it's a lot easier than me trying to reach up and grab all the way up top when you can watch me just basically do it down here. And it'll be the same. We're going to start on a new black pot here because this one, number 18, is done. So we're going to work on this one here. John O'Brien. I learned how to do portraits by drawing it like that. Yeah, right? That makes perfect sense. I mean, doing paint by numbers, if that absolutely helps you to paint freehand, by all means, go for it. I mean, like I said, you don't have to be a master artist to do paint by numbers. It's just something fun, something else to do. With the stupid crap that's on TV and the news and things that are just stressing us out constantly, to be able to just do something distracting for a change is a wonderful feeling, I think. So I'm going to take the little 18 off of this one. Since this one's pretty much done, I'm going to put it aside. I'm going to take the little 18 and put it on the next pot here. Open this one up, since this one's going to be fresh paint instead of chalky, mucky thing over there. All right, so I'll try to get close so you can see the 18 on here. I'm not sure if that shows up, but you can see like the 18, and it's basically all just everywhere. Everywhere. 18. Okay. I think portraits are the hardest types of art to do. So a lot of people think that you need hard edges when you're doing a portrait. The reality is there's no black lines in portraits. Only where the shadows hit on the face. And even those shadows aren't thick black lines. So, depending on what type of art you're doing, require that. These green splotches that I'm painting next to right here it's some type of garland hanging off of the ceiling onto the wall. Whoever built their bookshelf has this garland. I think that's the right word, like fake plants hanging off the ceiling, draping down off the top of the bookshelf up there. Off the top up there. So on here it looks like green splotches of various different colors, almost like camouflage netting. But I assure you it's all part of those plants. I'm glad that there isn't hard lines in here. The only hard lines I've come across are up the window pane. But around these books, you don't need a super hard edge. Because again, it's just either the shadow in between the books or it's the gap in between the books where you can see the back of the bookshelf. Luckily, there isn't a hard edge that you're trying to trace. So that's why I get right to the edge, and then I'll hit it with some water there to smooth it off. That's a 22 that runs up there. That's black. That's all 23 in there. This is black. It's a little 22. $23. Okay. The water also helps that you don't have to pick up so much paint. Again, the 24 that I made around this book, I went over the line on it because I knew, again, I'd come back with the black here. It sounds like ducks outside, but it's crows. We got one big giant tree out there I got the most crows in the world that I've ever seen roost on one spot. So many crows. These guys are having a big old conversation outside. Of course, they go bananas when the hawks come out and try to get their eggs. They chase them off. It's quite a sight to see, actually, watching crows defend their nests from hawks and vultures. Okay, I'm not sure what this color is. I think that's supposed to be black in there because I don't see any other numbers. That's 23. So we'll leave that alone. There's 22 in there. What's there is not letting the paint go. Let's get some water. Doesn't like paint for some reason. Arrow's getting to this paint. It's becoming funky. The air got to it. What? The air got to it. Tom Hanks, Castaway. He's trying to light the fire on the beach. He's talking to Wilson, his ball. I hate asking, but if you like the type of content that you're watching, if you don't mind hitting that like button. If you absolutely don't like it, well, you don't have to hit the like button. But if you are sticking around to watch the live stream and maybe you've checked out some of the other playlists, or at least the arts and crafts playlist, I think I have like 60 videos just in the arts and crafts. Then if you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I am not a monetized channel. I don't ever plan to be, even if we got over 10,000 subscribers, a million subscribers, I will never be a monetized channel. So I don't believe in that crap. Plus, I don't want to pay the taxes on all that. So, there are like ways to give tips and things like that, and click on the things like it says I get commission when you click on those ads that are on there. I don't. So it goes to YouTube. Or it goes to, I have everything set up on charity. So it goes to Alzheimer's research for my parents and anyone else's parents that have had to deal with that bullshit. But I will never take money because I don't feel that this is something that requires like a job to me or anything like that. This is purely for fun. Anybody that asks for money, well, I can't speak about anyone else, but it just doesn't seem right. I mean, unless I was a real life artist, custom artist, and maybe I was going to turn around and sell these things. But these are paint by numbers. Somebody else drew them. I'm just filling it in. It's the guy that fills in the comic book colors. He didn't actually draw it. So why does he get paid? I don't know. I guess you're doing somebody's work. But right now, this is pure hobby for me. Subscribers? Yes. That means I can entertain more people with my crazy wackiness. All for free. I know there's tons of YouTubers out there. Tons of TikTokers and Facebookers and everything else that you have to contend with. So maybe you got to deal with a real talking chimpanzee. You don't have to if you don't want to. 98% of our viewers are not even subscribed. It is what it is. I think my content is different than most people. I'm just kind of like dotting it around these plants. Still using just the water. Now I'm going to dip it into the paint. I know it just looks super weird, but it's just weaving in and out of all these other little squares here. almost a hard edge there, going under that shelf. Threading it through all these 19s. God, that looks horrifying. This paint's become mucky. '23, '22. These are going to require a thinner brush. Oh, come off there. I'm gonna make it back half here. That's 18. All those weird lines coming down are separating the books. Some of them are not even like, there's like little places where you got to stop abruptly just to put another paint color in there. These are 23s. It's 18 right here. Not a super hard edge, but again, the back of the bookcase. Just want to be careful through there because there's a lot of 23s. Okay. Those are 19s. And then we're back at the beginning. Oh, nope, we forgot the side here. Okay. Okay, that's all 23. If there's any more 18s, it's going to be thinner lines or places that I didn't fill in. Right up through there. Right here. I got more 18s in there. Okay. Ooh, be a little tricky in here. Yes, sir. Almost done. We'll go play. Did you find your spider? You're like, what? Spider or what? There was a little jumping spider trying to get into his cat litter that he kept sniffing. Jumping spider landed on his nose. Didn't bite him or anything. So I took it off his nose and I put it in a little box so he could look at it. And this morning, no more jumping spider. It didn't die, it just ran away, went somewhere else. Moved on. Maybe it didn't like the toothpaste box that I put it in. But I gave it some substrate and I gave it some little flies that I found, but he boogied on, went somewhere else to go grow up somewhere. Okay, we're doing, not that one, let's get this brush. Is just kind of snaking around. So this is the arms of the lazy boy chair. It's covered up at 22. Ooh. Adding the water is definitely a game changer. Definitely smooths it out. Okay. That's all 18s in there. Let's get some water in this paint here. It's getting mucky. different colors in there. What was that, Sam? I just found a 14. No. Is that a 16? No, it's a 14. All right, let's knock out this 14 right here, since I can see it. Okay. Anything else going to jump out at us? Oh, and there's another 18 there. Okay. Okay. Where else? Where else are we going to? Oh, I missed all that. Okay. Yes, kitten. He says you're spending way too much time painting and less time snuggling. I demand that you stop painting immediately and begin to the snuggle process. Right? Is that what you're saying, Sam? Or is that nothing of the sort? Are you demanding treats? So you are demanding treats. What is that? A 16? Oh, that's a light blue. A 16 all the way up there, just poking out from the Poconos. Who would have known? A 13? A 13 is a green. That's going in the backwards direction. Let's put 13 up there. Told you, numbers are going to start poking out once you start going with blacker, darker paint. Numbers that you didn't think you had. And there's another 18 up there I missed. All right, where's that 13? If you were a 13, where would you be? I saw you. Can't find you now. Oh, my stupid eyes. Where did you go? 13 is gone. Gone, gone, gone. Looking. Looking. Nope, can't see it anymore. All right, what was that other one? There it is, found it. Would you even have known that was a 13 there? There's that 18 up there. With all the other black around it, you have just a splotch right there of 18. Looking. Those are 19s. Looking. Nineteens, 20s. Looking. Do you see any more 18s that I missed? Oh, there's one right there. An itty bitty, teeny weeny, polka dotted pink bikini. Okay, that one's done. Oh, little spot that I missed. 21s, 23s, 22s, 21s, 23s, 19s. Oh, there's an 18 right there. Okay. There's an 18. Where did you go, 18? Here you are. Big old thick black line. Okay. Okay, I see where I missed spots. Okay, I see where I missed spots. Up here. All inside this area right here. The in-between of the bookies. Uh-oh. Don't do that. I'm just using water. that an 18? That is an 18 in there. A tiny little dot. Anything else? Oh, right there. Okay. Looking. All right, I keep seeing this one here. Is this a 16 or an 18? Oh my God, my eyes are broken. Looks like it's a 16. Then turn it a little bit and it looks like an 18. Or a 19. Or a 10. Ah, fuck, I don't know what it is. Let's try to look at the middle picture and see if we can see. Good possible to tell. Can you tell what we're looking at? Does it look any different than from when we started? I mean, with all that black in there, you can now see where the shelves are and in between the books. This is number artist 40 dash, oh, can't even get it, I'll hold it still. 40-50 LZ8806 BK Cozy Reading Nook. That's what we've been working on for the past 5 days. And we are not done yet. We probably have at least another day, 3-hour session, 2.5, 2. And we made it to 2 hours and 55 minutes doing this here. So I don't see any more 18s. There could be other numbers that will pop up as I start looking over it, but we're going to give this a good 12 hours or so to dry. When we come back to it, we'll probably see some kitty cat paw prints on it, possibly a spider splatted on it, maybe a part of a mouse, who the hell knows. With Sammy in the house, you never know. I've had him completely brush across this the other painting, and I had to wipe like multiple colors of acrylic off of his fur. I don't know what he sees in this, but apparently, who the heck knows? Let's cover up these pots here. Try to cover up these pots here. Put the old 18 back in there, the one we finished. Try to clean up our mess a little bit here. Always want to clean up your workstation. Dip these paintbrushes in here until we get them all cleaned off. Okay. So let's wipe these paintbrushes off. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family. Subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Comment. You're more than welcome to send comments even when this video is archived, or any video that I have archived in the playlists. You're more than welcome to comment at any time. Something funny you saw, something interesting I said. You can note the time. Ooh, I just snapped that one right in half. Look at that. I guess we won't be using that one anymore, unless we want to go at angles. All right, we'll put that one in the happy hunting ground. We still have another one. Well, actually, we have a couple of them because we have a couple of sets of them. Okay, so those are taken care of. Again, my name is Real Talk Chimp. I'm a live streamer and content creator, and within the last couple of weeks, I've been a model builder. Well, pulling up from my early youth of building plastic models, metal models, wood models, carving, painting, etc., and recently starting this paint by numbers type stuff as a distraction from the real world. The real world can be just too confusing and too angersome. You want to stick your head in a hole. Why stick your head in a hole? Why not distract yourself with some plastic models, some wooden models, some puzzles, or even some paint by number sets? This is just one of the companies, numberartist.com. But there's DIY Artist Club. There's probably 1,000 different ones that have these paint by numbers and such. I hope you like what you see. Comment whether you do or you don't. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace and chicken grease. Take care, everybody.